What's up, guys? Welcome to another Dacetacular Mind. I am Chris Dace, and boy, do we have a topic of conversation for you today. Now, over the summer, when we first started a Dacetacular Mind, I did an episode that was called Children. And in that episode, I explained to you that in 2018, I had taken a fertility test, to see the probability or chance of me getting someone pregnant was even an option. The test results came back. It was that I was improbable, not impossible, but the percentage was very low. And unless I was actively trying over and over and over and over again, the odds just weren't there. Fast forward to almost a month after that aired, and I get hit with some news that my fiance is in fact pregnant, which, mind you, raises some questions on my end, because here I am sitting with information about what I did in 2018, and here I am in 2021 now being told that I'm going to be a blood dad. I feel like I've played the role of dad since 2016, and even sometimes before that, to multiple kids, all of whom I have really cared for and really enjoyed being around and filling that role as needed. But I had come to peace with the fact that it was just going to be, a stepson scenario, and that blood was not necessarily going to be an option. Until 2021, where I'm being told, nope, I'm pregnant. So the first 2 weeks were not joyous, because I didn't believe it. And the reason I didn't believe it is because in June of this year as well, 2021, I was told that she was pregnant as well, before we had the conversation of, that doesn't seem possible, given my issues and my low probability rate. And it turned out to just be the medication she was switched to messed with her menstrual cycle. She missed a month, which was a hell of a roller coaster ride for me and of myself. I mean, I'm arguing with someone I had just proposed to, who had just told me that she was pregnant, who then I just told that, it doesn't seem probable. And suspicion, of course, rises, but not against her, per se. I wouldn't even say it wasn't even really a thought in my mind. It was just it doesn't make sense was really what I was feeling. Both times, in June and in, I believe it was August when she told me. And to hear towards the end of June that she wasn't was kind of devastating, because it was like a weird slimmer of hope, but at the same time, I had made peace with it, that it was not going to be a thing. Only to be told that, it's a thing. It's been a month, been 3 weeks, I've taken 3 tests, they all come back positive. And I went, okay, guess we're going to do this. Only for her to start it the next day, after I had accepted that she was pregnant. And that messed with me. I didn't have a fun month, because I was also on the road for work. Spending a couple weeks up there. Well, at the time it was about a month up there I was spending. So this all that transpired as I was traveling for work. And in a world where we were first being sent back to normality, more or less. So then we got past that hump. Kind of things started kind of smoothing out a bit, because I know I wasn't pleasant to deal with. I was in a weird space, because, you come to peace with it 3 years ago. Then you're saying, it's like, hey, you won. I think this might be a better way to put it. Hey, you won the lottery. Psych. And that's what June was. And it sucked. It sucked hard. So I got back to life. Got right back into the, it ain't happening. Those are not in the cards for me. Let's move on. Then comes the next time I'm told. And I go, are you have to be for sure this time, because what happened in June, May and June, I can't go through again just like 2 or 3 months later. And she had taken 4 tests, went to a clinic to get a better test, and waited 3 weeks to tell me. And then a week later, she had the ultrasound. And then it was like, oh shit. Things are getting real, and they're getting real, real fast. But I was still hesitant. Because it was super improbable. And I was okay with it. I was totally okay with being the stepdad, or not a dad, or whatever the case may be. And I know, given my issues, given her issues, because, and by her issues I mean she's older, and we all know that older pregnancies are not the most reliable or easy, that I was skeptic. I didn't want to tell people. I wanted to keep it close to the chest and just kind of see how things were going to play out. And she had her second doctor's appointment after the ultrasound, so she had like another ultrasound because of that concern. And that doctor said it was the strongest heartbeat he had ever heard at that week into the pregnancy. I don't remember the numbers. She is very attuned to the information, more so than I am. I'm more of just the along for the ride type of guy. And at that point, it was like, oh, wow, this is real. This is my shot. This is winning the lottery. And this is the lottery paying out. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There's still concern in the back of my mind. The due date is May 14th, 2022. We are in December. So we still have a decent way to go in terms of the pregnancy. She is not a delight to be around because of hormones, and I knew that was a thing. I am not an easy person to deal with because hormones be damned. I will make my comments because either they're funny to me or I'm going to win because, you know, as a human, we all have egos, and to be right is human, or want to be right. Usually being wrong is the human part of it. So that stuff's not been easy. But there's just like a weird level of excitement. And I saved this episode for today to air because we also had the gender reveal over the past weekend. So I was adamant that I didn't want to know the gender because they found out the gender almost a month and a half ago. And I was like, nope. I want that all clear. We're in a good stretch. There's no need to worry. And I got that about 2 weeks ago before the gender reveal. And I was like, okay, if you want to do something, let's do something. Because again, I'm not, despite being a podcast host, talking on this podcast, being on stage and stuff like that, when it comes to personal stuff, I'm not someone who puts a lot out there and quote unquote in my feelings. It's been well established across many friendships that I don't like to express myself. And this podcast in and of itself is the first of its kind in like 30 years for me when it comes to expressing myself. Usually it's like, hey, let's wait a year or two and just explode because you hold things in and somebody shoves some Mentos in your mouth and you just pop. So that's how I approach this, as per everything. So doing this on a week-to-week basis, or when I at least feel that I need to do this, it's helped a lot better. So I wasn't very public with this at all. We made the announcement in October that she was pregnant, which was a lot of hemming and hawing on my end. The gender reveal itself, too, was a lot of hemming and hawing on my end because I don't... This is going to sound weird, but who cares about my issues? Again, this is more therapeutic for me to do this podcast, and if people listen, that's fantastic. If people don't listen, that's fantastic, too. And this is just me speaking to speak, get things off my chest, and maybe somehow cash in on it. But when it comes to social media and Facebook and stuff like that, I'm not a big person of like, oh, you're going to see a million pictures of my kid, a million pictures of me and my significant other. It's not me. It's never was, it never will be. If anything, I use Facebook to kind of test jokes that I'll never use because I haven't done stand-up comedy. But it's just me testing the waters to see if I get a funny reaction out of it. And that's all I use it for, because I seemingly just see the app as a joke as it anyway. So, to sit here and talk about the gender reveal, it's kind of ironic, considering I don't like doing this stuff on Facebook, but here I am doing a podcast that can literally be listened to anyone across the world at any given time. But on my social media, which is private to friends and family, I don't do this stuff. But here I am. So we had the gender reveal on Friday to determine if it was a boy or a girl. All honesty, was not digging the idea that it was going to be a girl. Didn't have a name picked out for a girl. Didn't know what I was going to do if it was a girl. Just me and that species don't seem to interact well. Boys, totally handle. Look at Doug. Doug is going to be a future TV star. Probably on America's Most Wanted, but hey, TV star nonetheless. So we went into it. We handed everything over to my sister-in-law, Alicia, who did a fantastic job of putting this all together, keeping the information to herself, and just really being the guardian of the gender, as we called her, Friday night on that quick live stream we did. And I piggybacked it on the Christmas party because I didn't want to have multiple parties in 1 month. B, it was kind of just like, all right, let's do this, get it out of the way. People are going to be there, so yay that they're there. Again, I totally get it if you don't care, because, like, who wants the baby thing shoved in their face? I'm not going to be that guy, even though, ironically, I was that guy Friday night. But that's me trying to exploit it for a greater sense of watch our streams. But friends and family, I don't care. You want to know, I'll tell you. You don't want to know friends and family, yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Listen to this, you'll find out. But this is, of course, a public thing. This is for the character. This is for the growth. But we did the gender reveal Friday, and I am proud to announce that it's Team Boy. We've also announced the name, or at least his first name, which will be Wade. I don't know why she allowed me to name him. I was calling the baby Chewbacca until we found out the gender, so a little Chewy. And now he's our little Wad, because he will be Wade Anakin Dace. Yes. Somehow she let me put Wade and Anakin into this child's name. Wade after Wade Wilson for Deadpool. So I really hope he comes out and he's a smart mouth kid just like I am. And Anakin. So when he turns to the dark side, I'd be like, well, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to stop the Sith, not join them. But I totally understand what he does. Because I get it. We all flirt with the dark side. So I've destined this kid to be the coolest kid on the planet, so I don't care what anybody says, but Wade Anakin Dace, or Wad, our little Wad, will be here May 14th, 2022. And it's a wave of emotions. You don't know how you're going to act about something until it happens, and still it's not fully real to me until this little monster comes out of Jess at some point. But there was a little bit of excitement. Oh, okay. There was a lot of excitement to find out it was a boy. It was a lot of relief because, again, I don't know what I would have done if it was a girl. I would have probably fucked that up. I mean, I'm gonna fuck up the boy for sure, but like in a nerdy way. I just it leaves me speechless and at a loss of words of how to even convey it because I'm excited, but it still doesn't feel real because it wasn't supposed to be real. It was supposed to be improbable. In 2018, when I took that test, I wasn't even with the same person that I am with now. So, like, where I am is nowhere near where I thought I would be. And that was just 3 years ago, let alone 15 years ago when you get out of school. Oh, that was disgusting to say. It was absolute. God, I am not putting a number to that again. But it's cool, I guess, is the word to say. And we'll probably have another episode about this topic in May, or probably May. I don't see this child coming early. If it does, they're gonna have to. He's gonna have to like rearrange his schedule because I got shit to do in April. And I'll probably have way more to talk about then when there's a child here in my hands and it's tangible. So for a guy who has a lot of ideas and likes to be creative in that manner, it is very hard for me to contextualize what's coming in May. I'm prepping. I'm going through the motions. I'm doing everything you're supposed to do in preparation for it. But again, it still just doesn't feel real. Hanging out with Doug feels real. Doug taking over my gaming systems when I want to play is unfortunately real. So it's a relief. I'm so that it's a boy because again, oh God, I don't know what I would have done if it was a girl. Like I'm having like trauma over it. Like I've seen little girls, and I go, oh, that's adorable, but then there's a nightmare there. Like the female species is just never understood it as an adult. Sure as hell not gonna understand them as a kid. And I didn't want to be that guy that unfortunately doomed a girl to be a boy because I just be like, okay, if he said something mean, knock him the fuck out. Who cares what's between your legs? Show him your fist. So that it's probably best for the world that it wasn't a girl. Yeah. I would have messed that up. The boy though, they're resilient. They bounce. They're not as, hard. But then again, I'm a damn mess, and I'm a 33-year-old man, and that probably came from the same reaction as somebody going, he's just a boy. He can handle it. So I'll try not to repeat those mistakes, but I guarantee you I will. And at least I'm doing it to the gender that, when he does have this kind of breakdown, like, listen to these podcasts. I had the same meltdown 20 years ago, so it's cool. And I don't know what the future holds. I really don't. I had some kind of idea of it before this all started happening. Now there's just a future where I'm terrified and excited. And it's like the moment before you step out on stage for a live performance. It could go terribly wrong or be the greatest feeling on the planet all at once. And May 14th, 2022, fucking bring it. Little Wade's gonna have to deal with big old Chris. Nobody even uses that name. The Dace Man meets the Dace Boy in May. And we're gonna push him to the moon. Whenever he wants to be. Same with Doug. The little man's gonna have some competition. He doesn't matter if he's blood. He's got Doug in the way. And Doug's got a Doug. Sorry it was a short one. Sorry it was late. the entire message of today was just to kind of keep you posted on the whole holy shit. We went from not really probable to it has a name, it has a gender, and it's gonna be here in about 5 months. Actually, 5 months tomorrow. December 4th. Jesus. Wow. Couldn't time that any better. So we'll be back again probably to talk about this in May when it happens. And I go, well, I'm never going to have sex with a woman again because, dear God, the babies destroy them. More power to her. I feel like if something started moving around in my stomach, I'd try to cut it out. And that shit just seems weird. But that's going to do it for us this week on a Dacetacular Mind. Again, it's a short one, sweet one. Wanted to let everybody know the gender of the baby if they weren't able to see the live stream or the replay on our channels. Just kind of give you an insight into my mind of how, again, we went from improbable to it's going to be here in 5 months. And its name is Wade Anakin Dace. And is a boy. That just means I can retire from a lot of stuff quicker, hopefully. Be nice. Yep, the Dace Man Show is being turned over to these two knuckleheads. Good luck. You stay up for 48 hours for a game of fun. You take out the trash. You go to work. I'm going to stay home. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back again next week with another topic here on Dacetacular Mind. Hopefully longer, hopefully more detail, kind of give you more history on the topic. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I know the next ones coming up are going to be a little bit sensitive and at the same time just to, again, check into the mental state of yours truly. Because a lot's been happening in 2021. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed it. And we went from a year of nothing happening at all to all of a sudden everything's happening at warp speed. Cheerio. So check out everything we do at basementprotocolproductions.com, facebook.com/basementprotocolproductions, twitch.tv/basementprotocol, at the BPP official on Twitter, Instagram, and we'll see you next Monday. So thank you guys for stepping into this warped, crazy-ass mind of mine, and this has been a glimpse into a Dacetacular Mind. Remember, basement dwellers, stick to the protocol. Sorry for that burp, and we'll see you next time.
What's up, Basement Dwellers? I hope you enjoyed the latest Basement Protocol Productions creation. I'm Chris the Dace Man Dace.
I'm Frank.
And we want to drop some social media plugs on you. Check us out on Twitter at the BPP Official for all our tweeting needs, or you go over to Instagram at the BPP Official as well for all our picture needs.
Or Facebook/Basement Protocol Productions, or YouTube/Basement Protocol Productions.
And if you're somebody who likes live, non-stop action content, you can go over to twitch.tv/Basement Protocol.
Or if you just like the internet in general, you can go to www.basementprotocolproductions.com. Either way you do it, doesn't matter. We'll see you next time.